Well, everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review American Nightmare, Becoming Cody Rhodes, and this is a new documentary from Peacock and the WWE Network, which are the same. And this is from director Matt Brain, who has been a producer and filmmaker for so much WWE content, so it makes sense that he's the one who directed this film, focusing on Cody Rhodes, the son of pro wrestling legend Dusty Rhodes, and a wrestler who's had a very interesting trajectory in terms of his career, where he plateaued. He was treading water in WWE when he first was in the promotion. And I remember this, I thought Stardust was terrible character. I've been a pro wrestling fan consistently watching since probably around 8th grade, when I was 14. And then all the way up until now. And remember Cody Rhodes, and they're really not doing much with his potential. He left and went on this journey through the independence, New Japan, and then creating All Elite Wrestling with some other wrestlers, and then coming back and having this big triumphant return and becoming one of the biggest attractions in WWE. Now, on some level, I do feel like this film has a purpose in the eyes of WWE of trying to build Cody Rhodes up to be that babyface, good guy attraction that they've been yearning for since John Cena has been slowly leaving the world of pro wrestling. So you could feel that bias, and you have the WWE bias as well in a lot of ways that always shine through in these documentaries. I mentioned it during that Ric Flair Peacock documentary. They glossed over a decent amount. But what I think works best about this film is because Cody Rhodes, the pro wrestler, the human being, Cody Runnels, is so authentic. And he feels so authentic compared to so many other pro wrestlers that you feel that in this documentary, and I feel like he made sure there was a lot more authenticity in this telling of his story than you might get from your standard WWE affair. And you feel that. He speaks as candidly as he's either legally allowed to or feels comfortable doing about his experiences outside of WWE. He really wanted to make sure that certain things were in this documentary, and you feel it. And that's potentially a tough sell when you're dealing with somebody who is the subject of your documentary. Because, there's a bias there. And there certainly is a bias. This is a lot of Cody Rhodes' perspective. But it's his story. And he doesn't dive deep into why he left AEW. Most of this is his perspective, his experiences, hearing from the likes of his wife, Brandy, to Paul Levesque, Triple H, and the narrator going through this is Stephen Amell, the actor who he's had wrestling matches with in WWE. Also, I don't think I've ever really listened to Stephen Amell talk a whole bunch, because for a while, I'm like, they can't have Paul Rudd doing this documentary, can they? And then I looked, I'm like, why does Stephen Amell sound so much like Paul Rudd? But it's him doing the narration throughout this documentary. I think it is Cody Rhodes has a very interesting story. And WWE knows how to make video packages, biopics, things that are going to build up tension, suspense, excitement. That is their bread and butter. They do it better than anybody in the pro wrestling industry. And you feel Matt Brain bringing that into this film and delivering something that is so impactful and authentic and engaging. This film is very exciting. It's something that tells a great story. And there's tons of emotion here. There's so much emotional depth to this particular story because Cody lays his emotions all out there. That authenticity is what makes this film so much better than it could have been. And in general, I think this is a really well-made, well-done, and affecting wrestling documentary that kind of sets itself above a lot of them. It's not the greatest one that I've seen, but, and, you know, on some level, the heavy involvement of WWE kind of holds that back a little bit. And, you know, Cody too. Like, there's not a whole lot of people here that are showing a whole lot of not the great things about Cody Rhodes. But this is such a fascinating story with so much emotion in it. His dynamic with his father is the heart and soul of this film. And you can feel that through all of its veins. And as you sit there watching this over on Peacock, this is an impactful film and certainly worth a watch. If you're a pro wrestling fan, must see. But those are my thoughts on American Nightmare becoming Cody Rhodes. Let me know what you think and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.